I do want to go into the Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva, because the Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva takes it to the next level and talks about what the days of Mashiach will be and what the world to come will be. And we already explained yesterday that the entire messianic unfolding and all the blessing that comes from it was not the great Jewish masters and the prophets that they were excited that everyone's going to have Maybachs and everybody's going to have Bugattis. People are going to live in gold palaces. These are nice things. Like, that's okay. But that's not the mission. That's not the ultimate of the days of Mashiach. The ultimate of the days of Mashiach is that there's going to be no more war. There's going to be no more fighting. There's going to be so much financial bounty that we're all going to be able to sit and learn Torah. That is the ultimate. And why is that extremely significant? We're all going to be able to sit and learn Torah. Because that's going to then prepare the way for us to go into the world to come. Because whatever we have in this world is what we take with us into the world to come. The Mishnah says, Oilam hazeh doime leprusdor. This world is compared to a hallway. V'oilam habe doime letraklin. And the world to come is compared to a palace. Prepare yourselves in the hallway in order that you could enter the palace. Olam hazeh is also compared to dry land. And Olam haba is compared to a sea. Prepare yourself on dry land and make yourself the necessary arrangements that when you get cast out to sea, whatever you've got, you've got. It's an amazing story that comes to mind. Very well-known story. I like to tell it over, very deep. The story goes like this. That the Tzanzer Rav, the great Tzanzer Rav, one time had the Petersburger Rav come to his house. Now the Tzanzer Rav lived very modestly. He did not have much in his house. And he was hosting the Ruv, the Petersburger Ruv. And when he came to his house, he said, please come and sit down. And they had a couple chairs in the house. Not such a well-decorated house, meaning there wasn't many things in the house. And they sat down at this simple table and the chairs. And the Petersburger Rav happened to be a larger person, both spiritually but also physically. And he sat down on the chair and he broke the chair. So the Tzanzer Rebbe helped him and he immediately called to bring another chair over. And the Petersburger Rav sat in the chair and number 2, gone. And he was making note to his family members to bring over a third chair, and he noticed that the Petersburger Rav was like a little bit nervous, like, I'm breaking all your chairs, and I see there's not many chairs in the house to begin with. And of course the Tzanzer Rebbe was reading into his mind, and he said, let me tell you a story. So now we're a story inside of a story, which are my favorite stories. And he said there was one time a very, very rich man that was going to visit the holy Baal Shem Tov. And this super rich man going to visit the holy Baal Shem Tov was traveling there, and he got to the Baal Shem Tov and he got a blessing from the Baal Shem Tov for his wealth and for his family. And as he was leaving the Baal Shem Tov said, I want you to visit one of my students on your way back to your business. And at that time, the Maggid from Mezhbich was not a well-known person. He was just somebody that would teach kids, the Cheder Rebbe. And he said, pass by his house and just go say hi to him from me. So of course, the Baal Shem Tov said, so he went and he went to Mezhbich. And he got to the Maggid's house. And he saw the house was like a tiny broken shack. And he knocks on the door. And as he's knocking on the door, the whole door almost falls off. And the Maggid was then learning with some students. And by learning, I meant they were sitting, on some rickety stools, and the table in the middle was just a barrel that had a plank on top of it. And they were sitting and learning. And the Maggid hears the door, and he comes over and he says, Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi, how can I help you? And he says, I was just by your teacher, the Baal Shem Tov, and he said to come and give you the Baal Shem Tov. You were with the Baal Shem Tov, and he sends me regards. He tells his Rebbe, we're making a feast. Prepare the finest foods. Regards from the Baal Shem Tov. So they take a little shmata out and they put it on top of the plank, on top of the barrel. And they start warming up the food. And the first course was just a pot of water with a single cabbage leaf in it. And they bring it out with some crusty bread. Let's wash the festive meal. The Baal Shem Tov sends regards. And this rich guy is looking at the scene in front of him, and he gets this feeling like, you're so poor, I feel so bad. This is your festive meal? And of course the Maggid could feel what he was feeling. And he said to him, I see that you're troubled. What's wrong? He says, Rabbi, you have nothing. You have nothing in your house. There's nothing here. It's such... So the Maggid said, well, will you tell me, what do you have in your house? So he says, in my house, I have chairs. I have a lot of them, actually. Oh, what else do you have in your house? I have tables, like sturdy ones, mahogany, big ones. Oh, tell me what else? What else do you have in your house? Well, my house itself is humongous. It makes Back Lawrence look tiny. It's big, mamish, gorgeous. Yeah, what else? He was getting more excited. What else do you have in your house? Well, I have other things. I have horse-drawn carriages. What else? Tell me what else. What else do you have in your house? He says, I actually have some rooms that have more precious items. I have antiques, and I have old items from people who traveled across the world and brought me special rare. What else do you have? He said, there's actually a section, a secret place that I store special gemstones and gold, rubies, emeralds. And the Maggid said to him, he said, can I see them? He said, well, no, I don't have them on me. I said, why don't you have them? He said, they're in my house. I'm just traveling now, so I don't have them on me. So the Maggid said, I'm also just traveling through this world. I'm also just traveling through this world. I'm just traveling through this world. We have some things here. So it's true, when Mashiach comes, we're going to have very fancy, nice things. But even that's not the point of it. That's just that it will make it more comfortable to learn Torah. We're not going to bring these things with us. You're going to bring the Torah that you have. That's what's going to come with us. So it's a tremendous blessing that we're going to have, even in this world, the ability to have bounty. But the rabbis that's not what they yearned for about Mashiach. They yearned the opportunity that would bring us. That there won't be war and there won't be financial challenges anymore. They yearn that we'll be able to sit. So think for a moment, you, my friends in yeshiva, and you, my friends that are learning with us around the world. If you're sitting and learning Torah right now, you're already in the messianic space. You're already in that which we're all getting ready for. So don't get lost in the sauce. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. That even all the things you're going to do in this world, it's all going to lead to the messianic conclusion, where we're all going to be sitting and learning. And therefore, really to the degree that you love learning, is going to be a very much an indication of the Messianic era for you. Have a love of learning, a love of steiging. So this was really the yearning that all the rabbis were expressing. And we're going to talk about it more when we go into Hilchos Tshuva for a little bit, of what will the world to come be like. This is only talking about the days of Mashiach. And the Rambam goes on. Because during this time, in the days of Mashiach, Lo yeh sham lo yira v'lo milchama. There'll be no more hunger. There'll be no more wars. Sounds good to me. Yeah, brother. What's your name again? Ezra?
Eliezer.
Eliezer.
So what's going to happen to the non-Jews?
Everyone who is connecting to God is going to be part of this. Everyone has a place in the world to come. There's 7 mitzvahs that are for all humanity to connect to. And as long as a person says, I want to be loyal to the one God, and they have a wonderful place.
What's the door?
So Hashem continues to give people opportunities, just like in the time of Abraham. The whole world was pagan, and Abraham said, don't you get it? This is all just to build your free will. You think these sticks and stones really give you something? You have to think about it. Now, it appears that your boss gives you something, because he's your boss. Yeah, but who gives him power? If God decides that you should get a raise, are you going to get a raise one way or the other? Whether your boss wants to or not? Do you have to go beg your boss? You might have to ask him. That's a normal amount of ishtadlus. But who do you put your hope in? Your boss or God? That's like a modern day type of idol worship in paganism. Is putting hope in men. That you're my salvation. No human being is God. There's only one. Oisei shamayim va'aretz. Echad yachad u'meyuchad. Haya hoiviyeh. The one and only God. And Abraham started teaching this to the whole world. And we were talking about this just a few minutes ago. It's a nefesh asher asu b'charan, that he was turning NPCs into human beings. He was lighting people's life up who were just eating blue pills all day. And he was saying, you don't have to just support the latest thing just because they tell you to follow some athlete or some. It always kind of bugged me out a little bit, that's a technical term, that a show came out in my day called American Idol. They're not even hiding it anymore. Just let's see these people as idols now. Right? They couldn't have thought of another name for it? Idol. If you're into paganism, it's great, you know? So the idols are not going to be sticks and stones anymore. They'll be media personalities. That my hope, there'll be getchkalas, there'll be phones. That my hope is in that thing. My hope is only in God. So Avram Avinu started sharing this with the world. He started going around telling people, stop with your American Idol. Everything that you need, just talk to God. And this is the message for the entire of humanity. So we tell everyone, talk to God in your own language. Whether you're living in India, whether you're living in Japan, whether you're living in Ireland, whether you're living in Australia, whether you're living in 5 towns. Oh, got Yitz's attention. Wherever you're living, talk to God. Whether you're in the North Pole, whether you're on Mars, just talk to God. Talk to God. Make it your business to talk to God. God is the source of all the salvation. So this whole period of Mashiach coming, there's not going to be any more wars. V'loi kinna, v'loi sachras. There's not going to be jealousy. People are also going to see that they were given unique talents in the world. That's an amazing thing. The Rambam is saying there's not going to be jealousy, v'loi sachras. There's not going to be fighting. What do you mean? Like, he's the best soccer player. No, he's the best MMA fighter. No, Khabib. No, this one. No, McGregor. No, him. Everyone's going to have their role. Nobody's going to be fighting like this anymore. Everyone's mamish going to have their place in the destiny of humanity. No more kinna v'sachrus. No more fighting. Sha'atoiv mushpas harbe. Look at this. There's going to be so much blessing. It's going to just be ad belidai, koisi revaya, overflowing cups of goodness, of blessing. Shefa. It's shefa. Yeah, Eliezer.
Everybody has a dream in their life. Sometimes people have a hard time finding it. So when Mashiach comes, people have an easier time finding it.
Yes, you'll know why you're here. You know what will help you figure that out?
Well,
Mashiach. Mashiach's a person. He's a Rebbe. He's a great leader. He's called the Pele Yoetz, the wondrous advisor. You're going to be able to have a one-on-one with Mashiach, and he'll guide you and say, Eliezer, I see you've got great talents in this, and you should be doing this, and learn this parts of Torah. Remember, the Messianic era ends at the year 6000, so you have time, but like a couple hundred years, we're less than that, 114. It's still a finite amount. You're still going to have to make certain decisions in the era of Mashiach of what you want to invest in. But all the financial troubles and all of that will be taken care of. You get to focus on all of the personal development and helping humanity all get to a place of devotion with the one God. It's going to be a time of so much blessing. So much blessing. V'chol hamadanim mitzui. Listen to the language. All delights of the world will be so abundant, they'll be available like dust in the ground. Maybe I could say a chiddush to that, is that, nowadays the big thing that there's lab-grown diamonds. So just imagine reading this Rambam 1,000 years ago. And he's really quoting from Chazal that when Mashiach comes, there's going to be all the pleasures, all the delights, all the desirable things that humanity is into is going to be like the dust of the ground. Well, now that they're growing diamonds that are unbelievable in their appearance, they can just produce diamonds. Maybe there's already like a hinting of this. There's going to be so much beauty, so much. But like we mentioned, that's not what the rabbis were looking forward to. That's just going to be what it's going to look like. Imagine diamonds studding the entire yeshiva floor. It's very nice. It sounds good to me. I'd be happy to walk into a yeshiva, diamonds stud the whole floor. Rubies, diamonds. But that's not why I come to yeshiva. Because I want to learn Torah. It's just nice, with chandeliers filled with diamonds, emeralds, sapphire. That's nice. I'm saying it makes sense that you would have that because it's beautiful. But that's not why you show up to yeshiva. You show up because you want to learn a sugya in Eila Mitzias, Rabbi say, An Puria. For those that know, you know. Chav Dalet Amud Aleph, Vav Mitzia. It will just be the reality, will be so much beauty, so much majesty. It'll be in such abundance. But that will just be kind of like a backdrop to what the real purpose will be, which will be connection to God. And I'm just explaining with the lab-grown diamonds, maybe it's almost a rational way of seeing some of this playing out, where you could see, somebody was telling me that they're trying to make gold also. Because everybody always knew that gold is like the ultimate money. You can't make more of it. The ultimate form of currency.
The gold standard.
The gold standard, exactly. There are people that are getting nervous about this now.
Florida just legalized gold as legal currency.
I'm not giving financial advice, but I still think gold is an excellent investment. This is not financial advice.
no, thanks for my mind.
But still, the idea that there's going to be this abundance or the ability of creating beauty. Gold is beautiful to look at. Gold will never go out of style. It's beautiful. It hasn't for the last few thousand years. It's pretty good currency. There's been many types of currencies that have come and go. By the way, anybody who ever wants to start a currency, so you have to get people to believe that it has value. Otherwise, it's not currency. That's one of rule number one. And if people stop believing in your currency, like your government collapses, or as we saw in Germany, in Zimbabwe, so people were bringing wheelbarrows of Zimbabwean dollars. They're printing $1 trillion Zimbabwean bills, and you couldn't buy a loaf of bread for $1 trillion. Yeah, the inflation was just too much. People stopped believing in the currency. So generally, you could say a currency that's lasted thousands of years, unbroken. While governments tried to confiscate it and make it illegal to have gold, it's probably a good currency. And by the way, I'll tell you a secret. Women love gold. They love gold. You get them a gold necklace, a gold bracelet. It's not going out of style. So gold is beautiful. It's very beautiful. The Rambam's saying that when we have Mashiach, it's going to be beauty everywhere. But that's not the purpose. It's not the purpose. That's to be very, very clear. That's not the purpose. What's the purpose? And look at these are the last words of the whole Rambam, of the whole Mishnah Torah, by the way. Not just the laws of Mashiach here. V'lo ye'esek kol ha'olam, while the world physically will be bountiful, beautiful, majestic, opulent, that will not be what the world will be occupied with. They won't be comparing their gold with each other, comparing their, bling. They won't be occupied in that. It will be here, but it won't be the asik of the world. Ella lodas es Hashem bilvad. Just to know God. That will be the entire humanity. Single focused. Every single post on Twitter, just talking about God. A little bit like it is right now? Not quite. We're getting there. We're getting there. Only one thing, just to know God. Lefikach, and therefore, yu chachamim gedolim. We're going to be wise people then. Because all of our focus will be on one thing, just knowing God. The yodim dvarim hastumim, we're going to know great secrets then. We're going to spend all day learning all the secrets. And just getting close to Hashem. The Torah that you gave us at Mount Sinai. And all that is just a preparation for the world to come, where we really start getting involved. The yasigu das boirim, and we'll all just be thinking and learning, talking about God, kafi koyach ha'adam, according to the abilities of a person, specifically that which you worked on now. And then the Rambam ends, my friends, with probably my favorite verse in Isaiah 11. Okay, so all the chevra that are always asking about Isaiah 53, we love Isaiah 53. But we equally love Isaiah 11, my friends. Isaiah 11, verse 9. Ki malei haaretz de'as Hashem k'mayim liyam nechasim. For the whole world will be filled with connection to God like water covers the seafloor. You'll look everywhere. You look all over YouTube, you look all over Snapchat, you look all over TikTok, could you imagine? And it'll be nothing but talking about God. Learning, getting closer, growing, no war, world peace, all the weapons will be turned to plowshares, humanity working together, all humanity, growing, helping each other. It should happen mamish today. B'siyata d'shmayim, we should see the binyan Beis Hamikdash with Mashiach Tzidkeinu b'mhera v'yameinu amen v'amen. Have a wonderful day, Rabbi Isai. Tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Lekute Cafe.